Hey, welcome everybody. We're here with our 2016 replay of the New York Mets season, and it's going to be the Mets in Busch Stadium 3 facing the Cardinals. It's going to be Jacob deGrom, excuse me, 7-8 with a 3.04 ERA against Carlos Pajaro Loco, Crazy Bird, Martinez, 16-9 with a 3.04 ERA. So we're going to get started right away, not waste a lot of time. It's going to be Jose Reyes leading off against Carlos Martinez, followed by Granderson, the center fielder, and Cespedes, the left fielder for the Mets. And it's 6-10, and that's a fly ball to left field. In left field is Moss, one away. 5-8, and that's going to be swung on and driven into the gap, and that's going to be cut off quickly by the center fielder Grichuk, and Granderson is on with a single. So Curtis Granderson lines a single into the left center field gap, and he's on at first. Next is Cespedes, and that's a 5-9 this time, a 5-9. Oh, that's a deep drive to left field. And at the wall is Moss, and he makes the catch. Out number 2 now. So Cespedes gets a hold of one, drives it deep to left field to the wall, but not deep enough. And it's going to be Jay Bruce. Loney's on deck. And 6-6. So every roll was off the pitcher's card, and that's a fly ball to center field and Grichuk. He measures that one, so it's going to be the end of the inning for the Mets, and they leave one, and we go to the bottom of the first. It's going to be Carpenter, the first baseman, Jerko, the second baseman, and Moss, the left fielder, in that order for the Cards. Now, the Cards are a pretty fun team to play. I like the Cards a lot. They're a good team. They're pretty deep. And always a contender. Hey there, Jerry. Jerry. Here's the pitch to Matt Carpenter from Jacob deGrom. And that's 3-10. It's going to be off Carpenter's card. 3-10 is a ground ball hit right at Mets second baseman Kelly Johnson. Out number 1. Jed Jerko. Jerko is an interesting character, batted .243, but hit 30 home runs and 400 at-bats. So in a full season, it would have potentially had 45 home runs. Not too shabby for a utility-type infielder. You know, rewind 40 years, and that would have been unheard of. I mean, you could probably grab every single utility infielder on every single team, and they wouldn't add up to 45 home runs. 3-8, that's going to be off Jerko's card, and that's a ground ball hit right at Reyes. Reyes feels it, fires it to first, and that's 2 away. And it's Moss now. Brandon Moss, who batted .225 with 28 home runs. Another one in only 400 at-bats. 6-5, so that's off deGrom's card, and that's a strikeout. So 3 up, 3 down for deGrom here in the bottom of the first. Top of the second is going to be Loney, Cabrera, and Kelly Johnson. Here's the pitch to Loney from Carlos Martinez. 5-4, and that's a ground ball, third base X. Third baseman is a 3. We roll a 12. And he feels it over to first, 1 away. So Loney grounds out to the third baseman. And next is Asdrubal Cabrera. And that's a 5-5, and that's ball 4. So every single Mets roll has landed on Carlos Martinez's card. 6-7, and that's a hard hit ground ball right at the second baseman, who's an X. It's a 3. He's a 3, and that's a 5, and that's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. And the Cards are out of the inning. Go to the bottom of the second, no score. Kelly Johnson grounds into a double play. Brandon, it's going to be Piscotty now, Stephen Piscotty. It's the pitch from deGrom. And it's going to be 3-6. A 3-6 is a strikeout. Yadier Molina, 6-5. And that's going to be a strikeout. 2 away now. And it's Peralta, 5-7. And that's lined up the middle and base hit. So Peralta on with a single with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Randall Grichuk, 3-7. That's a ground ball right at the shortstop. Cabrera takes it himself for the force. So the Cards lead 1 in the bottom of the second. And we go to the top of the third, no score. Top of the third is going to be Darno, deGrom, and Reyes. So it's 3-8, 3-8, and that's popped up. Right side. Second baseman Jerko's there, 1 away. Jacob deGrom next. And that's a 5-7. 5-7 is going to be a strikeout, so deGrom's down on strikes. 2 away. We're going to go to the top of the order for the Mets. Jose Reyes, and that's a 6-3. It's a ground ball to the first baseman. Carpenter takes it himself for out number 3, so 3 up, 3 down, go to the bottom of the third. In the bottom of the third, it's going to be Garcia, the Cardinals shortstop, and then Carlos Martinez, the pitcher. So it's going to be 1-7. That's a ground ball right at Reyes. He feels it, guns it to first, 1 away. Next is Carlos Martinez, and that's a 6 and a 4, and that's a ground ball right at the third baseman Reyes, who's a 2, and that's a 4, and that's a ball that Reyes fields over to first, 2 out. And Carpenter's up next at the top of the order. Carpenter's 0 for 1. He grounded out in his first at bat. The pitch from deGrom. And it's a 3-8. And that's lined. Base hit. Nope. Caught. Caught by the second baseman. Nice catch by Mets second baseman Kelly Johnson there to rob Carpenter of a hit. So that's the third out. We go to the top of the fourth now. No score. It's going to be Granderson leading off for the Mets. And it's going to be 2-7. That's a strikeout. Cespedes. So 1-7. That's a fly ball left field. 2 out. Followed by Jay Bruce. And that's a 5-9. A 5-9 is a deep drive. Deep to left field. And it's caught by the left fielder, Moss. Brandon Moss makes a nice catch out there. And the Mets are retired, 3 up, 3 down. Go to the bottom of the fourth, no score. Bottom of the fourth, it's going to be Jerko leading off for the Mets. For the Cards. And it's 4-4. Off of deGrom's card, 4-4 as a fly ball is lifted to center field. Mets center fielder Granderson makes the catch. Next is Brandon Moss. And that's a 3-4. And that's lined out. Caught by Loney at first. 2 out. Love those split rolls. And 6-8, this is off of deGrom's card. And 8 is going to be a drive into the gap. And it's going to be cut off quickly by the center fielder Granderson, keeping Piscotty at first base. So Piscotty hits a single with 2 out off of deGrom. Second hit allowed by deGrom. And here's Molina now. Catcher Molina, there it is. It's a 2-7, and that's a ground ball right at Reyes over to first for the third out. Go to the top of the fifth, no score. It's going to be Loney, Cabrera, and Kelly Johnson for the Mets. Here's the pitch from Carlos Martinez. That's going to be a 5-5, and that's ball 4. So Loney walks, Now, not much speed. Loney doesn't have the wheels. And Cabrera is up. Here's the pitch to Cabrera, 6-8. And that's lined up the middle, and base hit for Cabrera. Loney is going to stop at second. First and second now for the Mets. And next is Kelly Johnson. Kelly Johnson batted .247 with 10 home runs and 300 bats. And that's a 6-6-6, the sign of the devil, 6-12. He's going to be off Martinez's card, and that's a fly ball to left field. Over there towards the line is Moss, and he makes the catch, one away. Travis d'Arnaud popped up to the second baseman at first at bat, 1-7, and that's ball four. So the bases are now loaded for the Mets. So the Mets are threatening here in the top of the fifth inning, and it's Jacob deGrom. Why I keep on calling him Jason is beyond me. Here's the pitch to deGrom. It's a 6-7, and that's a ground ball, second base X. It's Jerko, who's a 3, and that's a 1. That may be trouble. Let's see what happens. It's base hit under Jerko's glove, just a ball that Jerko couldn't reach. And to score comes Loney, and here's the throw to the plate by Cabrera, and he is safe. So that's a 2-run single for Jacob deGrom. 2 RBIs for deGrom, helping his own cause. And d'Arnaud hustles over to third base. So first and third now for the Mets. Only 1 out. And it's going to be Reyes, the top of the order for the Mets here in the top of the fifth. Mets leading at 2-0. Jacob deGrom helps his own cause with a single up the middle. And it's going to be 4-10 now. 4-10 is going to be a fly ball center field X. The center fielder is Grichuk, is a 2, and that's a 10. And that's a 5-runner third score. So that's going to be deep enough. It's going to be a sacrifice fly for Reyes. So Reyes gets an RBI, gives the Mets their third run. So there's 2 outs now. And it's Curtis Granderson. 3-0 Mets here in the top of the fifth. And it's 5-9. 5-9 is a deep drive to left field. And it's caught. Caught by Moss for the third out. But the Mets score 3 big runs on 2 hits and 2 walks. And they now lead at 3-0. Go to the bottom of the fifth. Peralta, Grichuk, and Garcia. It's going to be 6-9. That's going to be a deep drive by Peralta, a 4, and back goes the center fielder Granderson to the track, to the wall. He looks up, and that's gone. Home run for Peralta. 3-1 game now. Here's the pitch to Grichuk. It's a 3-6. That's a ground ball right back to deGrom. Feels his position. Out number 1. 3-1 the score here in the bottom of the fifth. It's Greg Garcia, 3-7. And that's lined base hit. Next up is going to be Carlos Martinez. And that's a 1-6, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 4 and out number 2 here. And it's back to the top of the order for the Cardinals. It's going to be Matt Carpenter. Here's the pitch to Matt. It's going to be a 2-9, and that's a deep drive. And that's going to go all the way to the wall, and it's going to rattle around out there. And Greg Garcia is a 1-14. We're going to try to score Garcia, and he's out at the plate. Garcia tries to score on a double by Carpenter, and he's thrown out at the plate for out number 3. So the Mets get out of that jam, and only give up 1 run. The score now 3-1 going to the top of the 6th. In the top of the 6th inning, it's going to be Cespedes, Bruce, and Loney. That was good. Let's go Cespedes. Yoenis Cespedes. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Flied out twice to left field. Let's move his back a little. All right. Hey, who's there? Hello. How you doing, guys? 6-5. That's again going to be off Martinez's card, and that's a strikeout. So Cespedes down on strikes. That's strikeout number 3 for the crazy bird, or El Pajaro Loco, Carlos Martinez. Next is going to be Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce is 0 for 2. He flied out twice as well. And that's a 3-7. A 3-7 is a strikeout. Number 4 for Carlos Martinez. And it's James Loney. 1-6. That's a ground ball right at the shortstop. Greg Garcia over to first for out number 3. So 3 up and 3 down in the top of the 6th for the Mets. Go to the bottom of the 6th. The Cards are going to bring up Jerko, Moss, and Piscotty against Jacob deGrom. Here's the pitch to Jerko. That's going to be a 4-6. A 4-6 is a walk. So ball 4. There's going to be some action in the Mets bullpen now. So the tying run is at the plate. Brandon Moss, good power, and that's a strikeout. Down on strikes. 1 away, and that's strikeout number 5 for Jacob deGrom. Here's Stephen Piscotty. That's a 3-4, and that's a hard hit ground ball right at Reyes to Kelly Johnson. Back to Loney. 5-4-3 double play, and the Mets turn a double play, and we go to the top of the 7th now. 3-1 Mets. It's going to be Cabrera, Kelly Johnson, d'Arnaud in the top of the 7th. The pitch from Martinez, 6-5. 6-5 is a strikeout, so Cabrera down on strikes. Kelly Johnson next. That's a 3-3, and that ball is lined and caught by the first baseman, Matt Carpenter. So it's L3 in the scorebook. Next is Travis d'Arnaud. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. 3-1 ball game. Mets are up. 6-8. 6-8 is a ground ball hit up the middle and through for a single for d'Arnaud, who's now 1 for 2. And it's deGrom. And we're going to let deGrom bat. And that's going to be a 3-9. That's a strikeout. Number 6. So it's 3-1 after 6.5. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Molina, Peralta, and Grichuk. Okay, so here goes Cardinals. Yadier Molina. Molina is 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. That's going to be a 5-3. A 5-3 is a ground ball to the first baseman, Loney, who's a 3. That's a 19. It's probably roll again, which I love so much. And no, the ball gets by Loney at first base and rolls into the corner, and hustling over to second is going to be Molina. So that's a 2-base error. A 2-base error on the Mets first baseman, James Loney, who actually, if you ever look at play ABBA, he's rated very high as a fielder in the ABBA game. As good as almost anybody else. He's rated a 5 in ABBA. Yet here he's rated a 3. And in Dynasty, it's an online game that I play, he's rated poorly as well. Very little range. So anyway, there's a discrepancy in how people are viewing the fielding abilities of these different players. So here we are in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Molina has just reached on an error by a 2-base error by the Met first baseman, James Loney. It's going to be Peralta now. Peralta is 2 for 2. He singled and hit a solo shot. Here's the pitch to Peralta, and that's going to be a 4-5, and that's a strikeout. So Peralta down on strikes. Nice pitch by Jacob deGrom. And next is going to be Grichuk. All these boys have some power here. Grichuk hit 24 home runs and 445 at bats. And that's a 3-3. And that's a hard hit ground ball right at Reyes. He goes to second baseman Kelly Johnson and back to first. 5-4-3 double play. So 2 consecutive innings, the Mets turn a 5-4-3 double play to get out of a jam. We go to the top of the 8th now. Mets lead by a score of 3-1. And you got Reyes, Granderson, and Cespedes coming up for the Mets. They're going to face Carlos Martinez, who's still in the game. And that's a 4-2. So this is going to be off Martinez. That's a ground ball right back to Martinez. He feels his position and gets Reyes by a step. Next is going to be Granderson. Granderson's 1 for 3, excuse me. He singled in the first inning. And that's going to be a 5-7, and that's a strikeout. Number 7. Looks like Martinez has gotten stronger as the game has progressed. And it's Yoenis Cespedes, and that's 5-5, and that's ball 4. So Cespedes on with a 2-out walk. Next is going to be Jay Bruce. And that's going to be a 2-8, and that's a ground ball right at the first baseman, Carpenter. He flips to the pitcher covering, 3-1 for the third out. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 3-1 Mets. And you can see Garcia Martinez, who's probably going to be pinch hit for, and the top of the order, Carpenter. So here's the pitch from, well, we're going to see some pitching changes real quick. For the Mets, we're going to get Addison Reed is coming in for the Mets to pitch. Addison Reed, let's see where he is. Addison Reed was 4-2 with a 1.97 ERA. He's going to come in for deGrom. And a pinch hitter for the Cards. Pinch hitter. It's going to be Wong. Let's look for Wong now. So we have him. Also, Pham is available to pinch hit as well. So we're going to probably bring Pham in to pinch hit. So let's get Garcia. Let's get a pitch to Garcia. Greg Garcia is 1 for 2 on the day. Get the pitch from Addison Reed. 1-4. And that's a fly ball lifted to right field. Met right fielder Bruce is there for out number 1. Next is going to be Pham for Martinez in the bottom of the 8th. So let's pull Pham. Pham had a great year. Pham was batted, actually, no, not in 226. I was thinking in 2016. I was thinking in 2017 has a great year. In 2016, bats 226 with 9 home runs and 159 at bats. So he showed a lot of power. Because you're, let's say 150 at bats, so he would have 4 times 9. He would have 36 home runs. Not too shabby. So Tommy Pham's going to bat. And that's going to be a 1-8. And that's going to be a walk. Ball 4. So Pham walks with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. And next is going to be Carpenter. Here's the pitch to Matt Carpenter. And that's going to be a 2-4. And a 2-4 is a fly ball lifted to right field. Met right fielder Bruce there for out number 2. And it's Jed Jerko, who's got good power, to say the least. Hits 30 home runs and 400 at bats. Here's the pitch. It's a 2-4, and that's a hard hit ground ball right at the shortstop. Cabrera takes it himself for the force. So Reed gets out of that jam. Al is here. How you doing, Al? Mets are up 3-1, man, in the top of the 9th inning. That's a miracle. And then we're going to see Familia, so hang around for the excitement. Familia has a way of making it exciting. Every time I bring him in a tight game, he ends up walking the bases loaded and then gets the 3 outs. So it's the top of the 9th inning now, 3-1 Mets. And it's going to be Loney, Cabrera, and Johnson, and they're going to be facing O. Oh, yes, had a great season. Oh, man, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Sung Hwan Oh, probably something like that. Sung Hwan Oh, however you say that. Not sure how you say that. And here's his stats. 6-3 with a 1.92 ERA, 19 saves and 80 innings pitched, so not too shabby, only 5 home runs allowed. Okay, so he's going to come in, he's going to pitch for the Cards in the top of the 9th inning. Thank you. All right, so it's going to be Loney leading it off for the Mets here in the top of the 9th, 3-1. Mets are up 3-6, and that's hit up the middle and through for a single for Loney. So Loney singles up the middle off of O. And next is going to be Cabrera. And that's a 3-7. And that is a line drive base hit to right field. Stopping at second is going to be Loney. So first and second now. Kelly Johnson up next. Not doing any bunting. Don't really bunt in 2016 anymore. Don't know what that is, unless it's a pitcher. 3-5, and that's a fly ball lifted to center field, and that's going to be Grichuk there. 1 away. Next is going to be Travis d'Arnaud. d'Arnaud is 1 for 2 on the day. He walked and singled. Here's the pitch of d'Arnaud, and that's going to be 5-11. 5-11 is a ground ball right at the shortstop. And Garcia's a 4, and that's an X. So we don't know what's going to happen here. And he boots it. Bases loaded. So Greg Garcia, poor fielding shortstop. Boots it, easy double play ball, and the bases are now loaded for the Mets. And it's the pitcher's spot, so we're going to see a pinch hitter now for the Mets. Oh, I'm having issues here. Things are flying around. I don't know why that's happening. Okay, so bases loaded, 1 out. And it's going to be a pinch hitter, De Aza, for Reed, top 9. Let's grab De Aza. He's here somewhere. Alejandro De Aza, who's now in the minors. And he's going to bat for the pitcher, Reed. Familia's warming up in the Met bullpen. It's 3-8. 3-8 is a strikeout, so bases loaded strikeout for De Aza. 2 out now. And it's going to be Reyes. Here's an opportunity for the Mets to score some insurance runs and potentially break it open. Here's a pitch from Oda Reyes, 2 outs. It's going to be a 5-8. A 5-8 is a strikeout, so Reyes down on strikes for the second strikeout for O. And that'll do it for the top of the 9th for the Mets. They leave the bases loaded but score none. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It's Familia coming in, and it's 3-1 Mets. And 3-1 Mets, and that was, who came in there? Okay, let's see if we can find Familia in our stack of cards, and there he is. Juris Familia. Jury Familia. Not sure how you pronounce that name. And it's Moss. Brandon Moss is going to lead it off. And here's the pitch to Moss, Familia. It's going to be a 2-4. A 2-4 is a deep drive, and back goes the center fielder Granderson to the track, to the wall, and it's out of here. 3-2 ball game. Brandon Moss greets Familia with a home run, and Familia wishes he had that pitch back. It's a 3-2 ball game, so Familia doesn't waste any time in giving up a run here to the first batter on the first pitch, and it's a 3-2 game now, and we have to face Piscotty, Molina, and Peralta. So as I said, Familia has a way of making the game exciting. 3-2 now. Nobody out here in the bottom of the ninth in Busch Stadium. Here's the pitch. It's a 5-8. A 5-8 is a strikeout, so Piscotty down on strikes. Next is going to be Molina. Molina's 0 for 3. So he's due. And Molina has some power. Hit 8 home runs, but hit almost 40 doubles with a 307 batting average. And that's going to be a 6-11. A 6-11 is a fly ball right field. Met right fielder is Bruce, who's a 3. And that's a 17. And that's a nice catch by Bruce for out number 2. Jay Bruce runs that one down. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth, and it's going to be Peralta, Johnny Peralta. Shortstop, converted to third base now. He's 2 for 3. He singled, homered, and struck out. So 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, 3-2, Mets up, and it's Familia on the mound, pitching to Johnny Peralta. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be off of Familia's card, a 6-4. And that's a fly ball to deep center field. Back goes Granderson to the track. Makes the catch. Game over. Mets win it by a score of 3-2. The win goes to deGrom. Save goes to Familia. Loss goes to Carlos Martinez. A heck of a ball game. A lot of fun. Close game. Mets win. What else can I ask for? Woohoo! Happiness reigns in the land of Combat Painter, tabletop baseball. My goodness. In real life, I watch the Mets lose every night. My goodness, whatever happened to their start? They'd won, I don't know, 7 in a row or something like that. And now they've lost, I think, 9 out of the last 10 games. Ugly, ugly, ugly. So the Mets win it by a score of 3-2. And their record is going to improve now. Hallelujah. The record is going to improve to 67-59. And I'm keeping the stats for deGrom. Let's see if I can find deGrom's card. Got to keep the stats for deGrom and for some of the other pitchers. So I'm doing a little bit more stat keeping here. April, May, up to August. Where's deGrom's new card? Okay. So here we go. deGrom puts in 7 innings, gets the win. He gives up 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Does he walk any? 6 Ks. He walks 1. He walks only 1 and gives up 1 run. So not too shabby. He's 3-0. And he 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 3 on the other side. That's 9 and 4 on this card in the second half of the season. He's 9 and 4. What is he in the first half of the season? He was 2-0, 3-1, 5-1. So 5-1 in the first half of the season. So not too bad. Keeping track of what he's doing, and we'll look at that and compare and contrast at the end. So it was a fun game. Took care of that stat. So we got deGrom versus Cards. Game 126. So I know that I took care of that. And that's all she wrote, guys. It was a 35-minute game, not too bad. And I was in the mood to play a short game, but an exciting game, and it worked out, right? Nice talking to you guys. I'm glad you were able to stop by. And another one in the books for my 2016 replay, a Met replay. Be doing a lot of cool things a lot of cool things once this replay is done. I may actually put the replay to the side a little bit. I don't know. Go back to APA a little bit and play the Yankee season, or play some. I'm really into. There's this set of cards that I'm looking at. 1971 Pirates. Well, no, excuse me. 1971 season, APA season, and I'm interested in replaying the World Series because I'm a huge Clemente fan. I think that he was amazing. And anyway, I'd like to play that. So I'm thinking of doing that. So mixing it up and breaking up the season replays with a World Series, another World Series replay. So that's what I'm going to do. I played it with Strat, I think. It's on there somewhere. I played it with Strat, but I want to replay it with APA. So that's it, guys. I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to hit the sack. And pretty tired today. And I'm going to hit the sack. And adios. Mets win it 3-2. Great game. deGrom gets the victory. And Familia gets the save. Made it exciting at the end, giving up that home run, making it a 3-2 ball game. But then he got 3 consecutive outs, so he made up for it. So adios, hasta la vista. Combat Painter signing off. We're headed towards summertime, and it's Combat Painter's tabletop baseball using Stratomatic Basic. Adios.